Hi guys, my name is Denise, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about technology in a classroom, whether it's elementary or high school, but mostly like in general, if it's good or bad, and also the equity of technology, because some schools have a lower socioeconomic status, so they can't afford computers, and so students aren't able to use them. And when we talk about if it's good or bad, you can see how it affects the children. This is a debatable topic because some people think that technology is bad for students, such as using computers or playing games that have to do with math or something. They may think it's bad for students and that they should just do things the old school way. And some people think it's really good. Like our nation is moving into a much higher technical universe, and it just makes sense for the elementary school or the preschoolers to use technology. That way we can advance even more into technology, and because there are so many great things we can do with technology, such as there are online textbooks now, you can do so much research, and if you don't have a computer, you can really read like a newspaper or something. So it's a debatable topic whether it's good or bad, and the equity of it and how it affects the students. You can think it affects them in a good way if they don't have technology, or a bad way. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to start off by talking about the biggest myth that I could think of that people say related to technology is that technology makes us dumber. So that's something that people might side with, that it makes you dumber, but I'm going to tell you why it's a myth. And usually these studies that say that it makes people dumber is coincided with television and just watching TV, which I necessarily don't agree with. I think we can learn stuff from TV, and especially little kids watching shows, they can develop social skills and learn new words. Using interactive technology and using it appropriately definitely we can learn from it, and technology is amazing. It's great what we can do with it. I don't think it makes us dumber at all. And from an article, it says that children who watch a lot of TV may have poor school results, but using computers and doing research and watching educational videos such as an animal in their natural habitat, I feel like students can learn from. And since we're in such a technological advanced society, I think that's great for children, smaller children, to start using technology so they're not completely clueless on how to use a computer, or such as maybe that your grandma or grandpa, the elderly, they may not know how to use a smartphone. It's because they didn't use that when they were little, and if they did, they would be like pros like we are. So I think technology is great, and I'd say we give a good one a slash. Okay, so with technology being good or bad, some people may argue that it's bad. People think that technology is bad because there are inappropriate websites out there that children can get to, or high schoolers, which can lead to negative effects, because no matter what the bad website is, whether it has to do with violence or whatever, obviously if they see that, it's not, parents don't want that, people don't want younger children or any student to see bad, inappropriate websites. Another negative reason about of technology is that there is a lot of cyberbullying. I feel like this has to do more with high schoolers, because whether they're on Facebook or they are on any social media, they can get bullied online, and it's obviously not okay. Technology can, if you don't use it in the right way, if you're not using the computer to write an essay or do research, it's definitely a distraction from schoolwork, and it can provide a disconnect. A lot of students nowadays are going straight to their room from school, going on their cell phones, going on their computers, going on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and they don't go outside and play anymore. They don't go spend time with the family, and it may provide a disconnect if you don't use technology in a resourceful way. We have another check for technology being bad. Some positive effects of technology is that if students have a cell phone or some type of technical device on them, their parents have more of a peaceful mind when they're at school, when they're at their friend's house, because they know if they have like a cell phone, they can call their parents if something's wrong. Obviously the internet is amazing. Google is amazing because you could search up literally anything and you'll get an answer for it. If a child is wondering, oh, why is the sky blue, they can type up why is the sky blue, why is the grass green, and they can get an answer for it, and they can learn and just research, and the internet is great for that. Yeah, they may be able to go find a textbook, but who's gonna have every single textbook of every single answer that the child is wondering? Or it's just a lot more convenient. There's also access to videos on YouTube. You could search up like a lion in its natural habitat, and the child can learn about different animals and different seasons and anything on YouTube or any video. There's also lots of pictures. It's just a great resource. There goes another mark for good technology. Technology is just a resource that preschoolers or children or students can use. It's a way that it's like an outlet for children to explore. Children explore by playing, by coloring, by communicating, by sharing ideas, by being creative, by singing and dancing, by painting, by coloring with markers, by building blocks, using their imagination. Technology, the internet, is just another outlet where they can explore, where they can learn something new. We don't want to replace everything with technology. We just want to add it in. We just want the best out of our students by having them use this outlet to be creative and to learn. So another mark goes to good, technology being good. I read a little interview that was interviewing Dr. Perry, and the question was, can you list an example of ways we can support students? And Dr. Perry basically said that an example, some students have fine motor skill problems or large motor skill problems. So if they're writing an essay, writing anything, they're going to have low self-esteem if you can't read what they write, if it's sloppy, if they're not proud of their work. Even with drawing, if they're not proud of their work, they're going to have low self-esteem. Using Microsoft Word to type up their essays, or like an art program on a drawing program on like the computer, it can definitely boost up their self-esteem. They're going to be very confident in what they're handing in, because they're not going to be looking at their writing like, oh, I have problems with my motor skills, I'm not a good writer. They're not going to be proud of it. So Dr. Perry has a very good point in saying that technology can support students and make them feel more confident and have higher self-esteem with some disability they may have. So I think that's another check for good. So a study that has been done on computers and human behavior revealed that digital media, when used by students, decrease their ability to read people's or other students' emotions, and social cues. So in this study, they basically concluded that each minute that a student is on a playing gadget is a minute taken away from the time that they could have been interacting with other students. And in this study, they think that by playing and interacting with other students, they can learn in the process, such as their emotions, and just socially they can develop that way. By playing with other students, they learn how to resolve conflicts and take on leadership roles sometimes. There's a check for bad. Technology is bad. Some positive effects of technology that I researched is that students can learn at their own pace. So I can think of an example when I'm in math class, the teacher is teaching something and they just race off into like the next chapter and I'm still in the previous chapter. I can use the internet, use YouTube to relearn what we learned in class. So students can go learn at their own pace, basically go home and learn the information. Technology definitely prepares students for the future. We know technology is our future and it's now as well. We advance so much through technology, so why not use it now if we use technology for many good things, such as medical reasons. Technology is great for teachers as well. There are a lot of supplemental tools that teachers can use, such as smart boards, and technology definitely motivates students to learn. Many kids love technology. They think it's awesome. They see the bright colors, the videos, the movement. It's just a whole new thing to them. So it's another check for good. Classroom teachers are using technology more than ever before because each year we use technology more and more since it's basically our future and basically advances us, just like I said previously. So negative effects of technology is that we overuse it and that it takes away from learning time. Yes, that's true if you use it in a negative way, if you're always on social media, not paying attention to schoolwork. Like most teaching is done through a computer, it's negative because many students learn by interacting physically and mentally, and if it's done through a computer teaching, it may not be the best form of learning. So that's another for bad. I read this interesting article and it basically talked about, again, students with disabilities and problems with learning. Students with ADD or ADHD, they obviously have a problem with concentrating and especially concentrating on schoolwork, and technology can really help that. If they are doing math, that's really hard. It might be hard for someone to concentrate on doing math, but say they're playing a game, an educational game in the computer, such as like a math game where you have to, for every math problem you get wrong, a UFO shoots into the sky, or for every problem you get right, you get a star, like you get to play a little game until you go to the next game. It definitely motivates the students to learn. It definitely helps people with ADD, like I read in the article. It helps them learn in a fun way, which is awesome. So that's another check for good. I read about a study called the Meta study, and it basically was a study using computers for teaching and for instruction and teaching children, and the outcome of the study showed that technology and using the computers, the students that use the computers, showed a greater improvement or a greater outcome in their academic school work. Technology is everywhere. Public schools in the United States now provide at least one computer for every 5 students, which is great, which is amazing. Because as we can see, the advantages that we discussed outweigh the disadvantages, and so if we can get technology into schools, then students will be more motivated to learn. They'll possibly do better with their schoolwork. In the year of 2015 and 16, which was last year, they were starting to give out standardized tests through online instead of using paper and pencil. So that's another advancement that we're going to, and also it's great because we can save paper and do things online. We can see that technology is advancing and more people are using it. In a survey by the MCH Strategic Data, they came to a conclusion that 54% of U.S. school districts surveyed use tablet computers and e-readers, and an additional 10% showed interest that they are going to be using them in schools or have plans to purchase them. Because now schools are getting all this new technology, because it's a good thing, there are a lot of advantages. It is very important for teachers to become knowledgeable about the range of all the technology that they can have access to possibly. It's important for students to learn how to use computers because they can just become skilled in that, and that's just one more thing that they can be more knowledgeable about and they can use to their benefit. Most of the child care professionals have come to technology as adult learners compared to the students that they're teaching, because the teachers weren't technology savvy as the students are now. So we don't want the students to grow up not knowing what technology is if they don't use it now, which is why it's important to have technology in the classroom. Technology is a powerful tool that can support and transform education in many ways by making it easier for teachers to create educational material for their students and by enabling people to learn and work together. The amount of information is literally at your fingertips by using technology, so it's incredible what we can do with it, and we want to take advantage of it in a good way while we can, and while our kids and the younger generation are still young. Inequality in education and how to overcome it has been a problem in the United States for over 100 years. Huge gaps continue to exist in academic achievements in the United States, whether measured by graduation rates, by standardized tests, by admittance to universities, by race and socioeconomic statuses. There are findings done in a study where they compared low socioeconomic status and high socioeconomic status, and how the low socioeconomic status was less than the higher in the fact that they had less technology and that their academic scoring was less than the people who had technology. Poor and minority children are less likely to have access to computers and the internet at home. There is obviously digital divide in the United States. Some schools have more technology than others, and they don't have access to it. So the equity problem is huge, and the main reason is economic status, is that poor schools tend to not have computers in every classroom or access to it. Mostly, if there is computers, it's for the teachers' use. As a result, students are not building their technology skills, and they're not able to access some of the courses that other schools can access, such as supplemental materials that would help them become successful. Overall, the NEA recommends in their policy to improve access to technology, increase internet access in the classrooms and the software, and expand technical support. Obviously, if some schools, such as the low economic schools, they may have computers, but they don't have technical support, so if the computers break, it's going to take a while for them to fix it again, and it just becomes useless by then. The NEA agrees and recommends to expand professional development in technology. They want to capitalize on teachers and students' enthusiasm for technology. They want to involve educators as advocates. So teachers should be pro-technology and be for it, so then the students are more motivated and for it as well. And so if the teachers do have computer access, they should use it to their advantage to help the students as well. Some schools have more technology than others due to their economic status. And since I discussed the good and bad of technology, it is bad that some schools don't have as much technology as others, because obviously we learned that computers, that the internet has many resources that we can use to help us learn, especially younger children, and throughout high school, help them learn, help them research, help them become better students by learning and by educating themselves by doing research. So since technology is good to have and some students don't have it, it really affects them in a negative way. Like I said, in a study that I researched, that some students don't have the technology, which means their test score is lower, which means their graduation rate is lower. So we can totally remove this digital gap in between, like schools having technology, schools not having technology, but everyone having technology somehow. So anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed my presentation on technology. I hope you learned something from it, because I definitely learned a lot. All of the citations and articles that I read about will be linked down below, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!
Portia, why are you biting me? The cat is biting me. Hey, Portia! Hey, Portia. Huh? Okay, she's helping me.